look, the Democrats are looking to tap into who they want to be, and old is new. My father's speech, Mario Cuomo, you can Google it and look, 1984 was called A Tale of Two Cities, right? Now, that is true today as well, but that's not the state of play. The state of play in '84 was the Tale of Two Cities. Reagan, shining city on the hill. My father saying there's another one that's in the shadows. Now, it's a tale of two narratives about two parties that want you to see reality different ways. We don't have the division that we had in '84, certainly not in '68.
It's a different kind of division.
Yes, and it's so manufactured. That's why we were talking about earlier about how fickle it is. You don't know which way it's going to go because it's based on so little.
Right.
You know, I mean, right now, what was the state of play today? If we weren't doing the convention, we'd be talking about the right flank in the form of Comer, once again using congressional powers to go after Biden for money that was brought into his family during his administration. When you support Trump, you're going to go after Biden for money that came in
to the family.
When you know that the Trumps, oh, but it was foreign money. Oh, and you don't think foreign money was coming into that hotel and all these other enterprises? It's just such a silly basis of division. But this is where we are. This is where we are.
I was actually surprised they went ahead with that, given the fact that Biden is no longer running, but I guess...
Negativity is their currency.
Yeah.
This is a grievance election for them.
Yeah, well...
I think the issue you have not yet grappled with, we as a nation, obviously early, is race. And race is going to play a big role, and it plays an underground, a subterranean role every day in American politics. And the Trump-Harris race will be a way that people can choose up sides based on race. And I think that it's sad, it's melancholy, it's a fact of American life. But race will rear its ugly head, I have no doubt.
But do you believe it's motivated by a side, or you believe it's just the reality of how the electorate will see these people?
I think when you check out, again, the polls and see the stark racial division, there are obviously sociological, economical, political reasons for that. But race has aggravated American society for a very long time. You know, maybe in '68, as violent and horrible and threatening as that was, at least it was integrated. You know, you had white people and black people on both sides, the establishment and the anti-establishment, the contrarians. I really believe that race matters in a big way, and this is an epic event here with the first Black woman, first South Asian woman, first woman.
Trump says you only get to be one of those, by the way, Geraldo. You
had to pick. Yeah, well, I have made a life.
Not the first
I've made a life experience of being several of those. When you're Jewish and Puerto Rican, I have to.
More than one in five marriages in the United States today is between people of two different races or ethnicities. In 1968, in April of 1968, Chicago burned, riots over the assassination of Martin Luther King. Today, Americans, especially a younger generation, are a lot more racially cool, are a lot more laid back about these things. It is a different place. It is a different conversation now.
I think actually, if you want to look at some of the polls, one of the biggest divides is actually along gender lines.
Married women versus single women, old versus young, and always, college, non-college, elites, working class.
Although I will say this, and this is totally petty, but welcome to TV. That if I were to start grading, well, no, only me. I'm the only one on the screen. I wouldn't even include you in it. I would never stain you.
I am not petty.
With me, you are not. You are the opposite. That's why we balance each other out. So this is what my concern is. I shouldn't have gotten this far into my debate, my convention coverage, and not have been forced by the Democrats to talk about how women are the first class of Americans have a right taken from them in modern history.
Yeah.
It should be such an impactful theme. Not abortion. I don't even think they should use that word. One, I think it limits reproductive rights as an issue, and I also think it limits the field, because if IVF goes the same way with the slippery slope argument of what you get to legislate all of a sudden, that involves men also. And the fact that I've made it this far and that they haven't been beating us over the head with it already is one of the biggest conditionals for whether Harris can win. If she doesn't motivate a pseudo movement among women,
for
The lane is
bodily
very
autonomy.
narrow
Yeah.
for her to win this election.
Yeah. We'll get into more on that because it's a huge issue. It is a huge issue and will
Should
be
be
a huge issue.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget, click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.